All right, so today I'm gonna show you how to start and build your real estate portfolio and have it become worth millions of dollars in the future, but we have to start with the first one, right? Hi, I'm Jim Fong. I'm an investor and realtor here in Las Vegas, and I help investors like you identify investment property opportunities, all right? But we're gonna start with the very first one today. All right, let's start with property number one. My recommendation is for you to start with your primary home purchase first, okay? The reason for that is when you buy your primary residence, the mortgages that you qualify for require the least amount down, all right? So if you're a first-time home buyer, you can get a FHA mortgage and put 3.5% down even, all right? Or if you're a military vet, 0% down with a VA loan. But all in all, when you buy your primary residence, you can qualify for mortgages with the lowest down payments and also the lowest interest rates too. So it's a great place to start with your primary home. Start with that first, okay? And the cool thing about your primary residence is if you live in that house for at least 2 years and the home goes up in value, you can actually sell the house, and the profits that you make from that are actually tax exempt, all right? You don't have to pay taxes on those gains, up to $250,000 if you're single and $500,000 if you're married, all right? So property number one, start with your primary home. How to get property number two, all right? So let's say you've lived in the primary home enough now and you're ready for that second property, all right? So this is the steps you wanna take. You want to get your existing house, you want to refinance that into some type of conventional mortgage, right? You want to get rid of any additional costs like mortgage insurance and things like that. Maybe the rates have adjusted, you can get a lower one. You just want to get your payment as low as possible because you're going to make your first house now your rental house, but now you're going to buy another primary home. But you have to make sure that this is a step up from your original house, right? So if you have a little starter home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, something like that, your next house, make it a little bigger, maybe like a 4-bedroom, maybe 5-bedroom, I don't know, extra garage, pool, something nice, right? That's your new primary home, and now you're making your first house your rental house, right? You just wanna make the rental property, you wanna make sure your mortgage payment is lower than the rent that you can collect on it, okay? That's the number one thing, because now your tenant there is now going to be paying off your mortgage for you, right? While you live in your nice bigger house as your primary home, your first house is now your rental property, which the tenant is paying off your mortgage for you. All right, so just to recap on that too. So doing it in this way helps you get a step-up house while putting a lower down payment still, right? Because the first house you bought, you had a low down payment as your primary home, you refinanced it. Now you can do it again. You can do another mortgage with a lower down payment again because it's your primary residence again. Okay, so you're ready for that second property, but what if you don't like the very first house that you bought, all right? What if it wasn't ideal, you bought it for what you could afford at the time, right? Well, what you could do is, another method of getting two properties now is you can sell that primary home because you're exempt on those taxes, right? So you can take the money that you make from selling that house, put 3.5% down or whatever low interest or low down payment to buy another primary home, right? Get into that one, and then with the remaining amount of money, that's when you use that as a down payment to go buy that other investment property, right? So you sell your very first house, you take a little bit of money and you put it as a down payment as another primary home, and then you take the remaining money and you use it as a down payment to buy your second investment property. That's also another way to go from one property to two properties. Okay, so now you're ready to go from 2 properties to 3 properties now, all right? So what do you do now, all right? The good thing now is you already have a rental property, all right? You should be getting some income on that. So what you can do now is you'll qualify to borrow more money, or you'll qualify for more mortgages now because now you have income coming in on a rental property, right? So you can use that to qualify for yet another rental property. Or better yet, if the market has been favorable for you, you can do another refinance, take the equity out, you know, and then you use that equity as a down payment on the next rental property, all right? The whole point and strategy of this is to set up as many houses as you can where the rents that you collect will cover your mortgage payments and all your expenses, right? So the tenant is actually paying off your mortgages for you over time. The whole thing is early on in your real estate investing, you might not see a big jump in your monthly cash flow, all right? For me, when I first started investing in rental properties, I was making, a couple $100s each property, all right? It was not enough to change my lifestyle or anything like that, right? It was just cover the bills, and they're paying off my mortgage for me, but the principal's going down slowly. I'm writing off my mortgage interest and just making a little money on top, all right? But over time, when rents start increasing, you might have only been cash flowing maybe $200 at the beginning, but you go 5, 10 years into the future, the rents keep going up, and let's say you had $1,000 payment and collecting $1,500 in rent, right? Well, pretty soon, one day, you're still gonna have that $1,000 payment because you did a kind of a fixed mortgage, right? Fixed 30-year mortgage where the payment doesn't change, but the rents change, and as they go up, your cash flow will also increase, right? Which will help you further qualify to borrow more money to acquire more properties, right? And the coolest thing about all this is the more properties you have set up like this where the tenants are paying your mortgage off for you, when the market goes up, your whole portfolio goes up too. So like if you acquired a bunch of homes for like 300,000 and 10 years from now they're worth 400,000 or 500,000, that's how you create a lot of equity in your real estate portfolio. Okay, so your most important investment will be your very first purchase, all right? So you just have to get into the game, right? Because I've been through the real estate bubble. I've been through the mortgage crisis. I've been through the Great Recession. I've been through the pandemic, all right? It doesn't matter what's gonna happen. Things are gonna happen, it's out of our control, but we have to keep buying real estate, right? That's how you build your portfolio, right? Because, I've seen much higher interest rates than we see today even, all right? I don't think we'll ever see home prices to where they were in 2010 again either, nor will we see interest rates as low as we saw in 2021 either. That doesn't matter. You have to keep buying. There's a lot of investors that are still working with what's available at the current time, all right? And that's what investors do, all right? The most important thing for you to do to build a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio is to get into the game and keep buying. All right, if you have any questions about anything, leave me a comment below, but be sure to subscribe and check out some of my other videos about real estate investing. Thanks for watching.